We're going to talk about the Settings app on your iPad and iPhone, a really important app that you will find you need to visit on a regular basis to do things like connecting to a Wi-Fi network, putting your device into airplane mode when flying, or to take it out of airplane mode, which we've covered in previous videos, to adjust your mail settings, to set up the accounts that you're going to use with your mail app, to set up your contacts, your calendar, what accounts you want to use to manage those things. You can change the sounds of your rings and your alerts, your ringtones, your alerts. You can change preferences for things like font size, sort orders, all sorts of things. You can check your usage of storage on your device, but you'll also potentially need to be managing the storage in your iCloud, which is separate to the storage on your device. And in your settings, you'll also find all the settings and preferences for the various apps that you have on your device. So let's look first at navigating the settings, looking at where your settings are, how they're laid out. If we go into the Settings app, we'll find on the iPad you have two columns for viewing your settings. On the left-hand side are the key areas of your settings, and on the right-hand side are some settings that relate to the area that you have selected on the left. In the example here, you'll see that the general area of settings is selected. It is blue. And so on the right-hand side, I see the general set of settings. When I'm looking on that right-hand side on the iPad, I will see some greater than symbols, arrow symbols on the right-hand side. Where you see these symbols, that means there is more information, more settings in relation to that particular option. So for example, if I was to tap on the setting called Keyboard, then I will see all the options that I have in relation to keyboard. If I tap on iPad storage, I will see all the information about what is stored on my device. Now I can see all the apps that are using up storage, or the data that is using up storage on my device. We'll cover that more shortly. So when I'm looking at a particular area of my settings and I want to go back to the previous spot that I came from, I go up to the top left of that option of my settings and I choose the back arrow, the less than sign, to go back to the previous screen. If I tap another option, date and time, I will choose back general to go back to my main set of general settings. On the iPhone, it looks a little bit different because we've got a narrower device, and so we don't get to have the two levels, the two columns showing on the screen. So if I come down here to my general settings, where again there's all sorts of settings, if I tap about, I will see the content of that settings option. I can press that back arrow. It's showing me where it's going to go back to. It's going to go back to the general option, and then I can go back to my main set of settings. And this is a standard rule on the iPad and iPhone. When you see something like that, you see that arrow, that back arrow, that blue arrow, that means go back a step, go back to where you came from before you were on this screen. So always look for that if you're on a screen and you think, oh, I just want to get out of here and go back a bit. That's what you've got to look for at the top left of your screen. Next, we'll do a bit more of an explore of the Settings app.